Welcome to another episode of the Hack Lab podcast Safety Leadership Series, where we dive into the evolving world of industrial safety. Today, we are exploring a vital aspect of safety that goes often unnoticed, which is the human factor. Even with strong safety systems, organizations still face significant incidents. Why? The answer lies in the human element. How leadership behavior, culture, and individual actions influence the overall safety framework. So, what does it really mean to transform safety culture from inside out? To help us answer this and understand it better, we are joined by Mr. Amarnath Paluru, Senior Director of EHS and Sustainability at Biocon. With extensive experience in environmental, health, and safety systems, Amarnath sir has a unique perspective on bridging the gap between compliance and culture in industrial safety. Thank you, sir, for joining me today and giving us your time. So, as we start, can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi, Amber, and good to see you after a long time. And thank you so much for having me in this podcast. So, coming to me, I'm Amarnath Paluru. I'm having 22 years of experience and EHS and sustainability. So, I worked in pharmaceuticals and oil and gas industry. So, I'm having by qualification, I've done my master's in environmental sciences, diploma in industrial safety. So, I'm an EVO certified as well as ISO 14 and 45,000 lead auditor. So I started my career with the Dr. Reddy's. Then I joined oil and gas for about 6, 7 years. At that time, I was in Europe and Far East for 6, 7 years. Then I am back to my pharma industry. Again, I started back with Myla, then Arizon Life Sciences. Now I am with Biocon. I am leading the Vishakhapatnam cluster
Okay.
as an EHS and sustainability head at Biocon. That's me, Amber.
Thank you, sir. So, let's begin. So, let's start with the basics. When we talk about the human factor in safety, what exactly are we referring to and why is it so central to transforming the safety culture?
So across industries, organizations invest millions of in safety systems, procedures, audits, technologies, but still serious incidents still happen because safety is not only about systems; it is about people. Behind every procedure, there is a human making decisions, working under pressure, managing risks, and adapting to the real world conditions. This is what we call the human factor. The human factor reminds us that safety failures are rarely caused by careless people. More often, they are the result of complex interactions between people, processes, and the leadership behaviors and culture, organization culture. If we truly uh, want to transform safety, we must look beyond the complaints and focus on something deeper, like how people think and how they communicate, and building the trust and how they take ownership of safety every day. Today, we explore how organization can transform safety culture from inside out by understanding the most powerful element in any safety systems, that is the human being.
Okay. So, it is often said that having a strong safety system should prevent accidents. But why do some organizations, despite having the best system, still experience major accidents?
So again, if you see, so many organizations nowadays have the robust systems, robust procedures, and engineering controls because they are restricted to only for the paper. So if you see, it is very different from the work in practice. Systems are designed in offices. That is one of the major area. So we need to build the systems according to the shop floor, according to the real work conditions, because it happens in complex. The works happens always in complex and changing environments. It's always dynamic. It's not a static. So because, for example, if you see, equipment may not behave as expected. So procedures may not match the real conditions, and workers may face conflicting goals between the safety and production.
Mhm.
So to cope up these realities, workers often adapt the process. These small adjustments slowly become normal practices. What will happen over the time? Risk will become normal. They are normalized, and when small weaknesses align, a serious incident can occur. So
Mhm.
incidents happen not because systems are absent, but because the gap between the procedures and the real
Mhm.
work is not understood.
Okay. So the gap between the procedure and the real work, that
Is
is the
not
main.
is not understood. There is a
Oh,
gap. So that is the reason most of the incidents were happening.
okay, I see. So, leadership plays a huge role in shaping safety culture. In your experience, how does leadership behavior and decision making impact safety culture, and why does it often have a greater influence than written policies?
So leadership safety culture is mostly built on what leaders do. You can say it's like walk the talk instead of what policy says.
Mhm.
So employees constantly observes leadership signals, what gets rewarded, what gets ignored, and what leaders prioritize
Mhm.
during the difficult decisions. For example, if a leader says safety is our top priority, but prices teams only in the meeting production targets,
Mhm.
workers quickly understand the real priority. So, what I feel as a leader, we should go to the people, talk to the people, engage the people, recognize the people, and reward the people in the group. It's not recognition always should be in the group, not one on one. And
Mhm.
at least a pat on a back, it creates a major difference. That's why
Mhm.
leadership behavior influences culture in majorly three major ways. One
Mhm.
is visible commitment, like leaders talking about safety and being present in the workplace. I can say
Mhm.
it's like walk the talk, what I'm saying, and decision making under pressure. So, if you say choosing safety even when production is affected, that is what real leadership behavior, and how mistakes are treated. So instead of blaming, we need to uh, learn from the blame. It's a kind of we should have a ownership. We should have a kind of learning culture. So people do
Mhm.
not follow safety practices; they follow leadership behavior. That
Mhm.
is the reason always in safety, while building the culture, it is always like culture always top to bottom driven.
Mhm. Okay. So, sir, I was thinking you have experience working in India. Also, you mentioned you have experience working abroad. So, I don't know. How do you see the culture difference between India and abroad? Can you share some points on that?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, it's not again like I'm not criticizing the culture in India or blaming, but honestly, if I have to be frank, the safety culture in Western countries are way far ahead than Indian culture. Because if you see, systems are there, controls are there, practices are there, procedures are there. So technologies are there in Western
Mhm.
as well as in the main. Again, it is always about a mindset.
Mhm.
So they put people as the first, and the rest is next in the
Mhm.
Western culture, in the Western countries. And there is a huge culture shift out there, long back. If you say
Mhm.
culture shift, I can say it's reactive to proactive. So nowadays we are saying proactive. Now I feel it is not proactive. Also, they are more than proactive. It is called a generative safety culture. So
Right.
at the same time, there is like here it is enforcement. There
Mhm.
is there it is not enforcement. So
Okay.
this kind of difference it is there when compared to Western countries to Indian countries.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Because I think many of safety managers or people might think that enforcement plays a big role in creating this culture. But like you said, that enforcement is not the only thing which creates such culture, right?
Exactly. It is beyond enforcement. When you feel so, one should feel safety is matters for us. Then
Mhm.
only anything happen. And as a person, I should feel safety matters for me, and I should not feel it is a burden. It is beyond the complaints. It is a culture. It is not only on the job. It is like if you right away starting from the home, of the job, while commuting, and on the job also. And it should be in our DNA. That's what I want to conclude.
Okay, sir. So many organizations fall into the trap of blaming individuals when something goes wrong. So how does this mindset hinders safety transformation, and what needs to change for a safer, more supportive environment?
So, if you see, blaming individuals may seem like accountability, but if you see, it really actually hides the real causes of incidents. Most incidents occurs because of system weakness, and generally, whenever there is an incident, the root cause always most of the times is human factor, and we should understand why system is allowed him or her to do this mistake. That the main root cause people are not understanding. And most incident occurs because of system weaknesses like unclear procedures, poor
Okay.
equipment design, unrealistic workloads, communication failures. And when organization blames individuals, there is definitely worker will stop reporting near misses, and they feel it's a kind of uh, fear what will happen if I report near misses. So that is the reason the mistakes are hidden and learning opportunities are disappear. That is what a blame culture focuses on who caused the accident. Actually, if you see the learning culture, ask what allowed the situation to occur, and we should assess what made him or her to do the mistake. That is what I want to say.
Okay.
And it should be like a learning culture, not a blame culture.
Right, right,
If the
right. We should.
organization want real safety improvement, they must treat incidents as an opportunities to
Right.
improve the system, but not to punish the people.
Yes, yes. They should ask why it happened, not who is responsible for this happening.
Exactly. So see, no one will come to the company to get hurt.
Yeah. True, true, true. Yes. So, psychological safety has gained more attention in recent years. How does it directly impact physical safety on the shop floor, and why is it essential for a truly safe workplace?
It is one of the most and vital important when coming to the human factor, psychological safety. That means employees should feel safe to speak up without fear of punishment. That is called in shortly I should say. So this is extremely important in safety critical environments. When psychological safety exists, worker feels comfortable to report hazards or to report near misses, to stop unsafe conditions. And definitely he feel comfortable and he feel safe that he can ask questions, he can make the decisions, and he willfully he will come, he or she will come that the and they will admit the mistakes also if there is a psychological safety exists. So without psychological safety, workers may notice risk but remain silent because they fear blame or criticism. If you see, many accidents occur not because people didn't see the risk, but because they didn't feel safe raising the concern. So therefore, psychological safety is the foundation of the physical safety.
Right. So, sir, currently in India, like when an accident happen, if suppose it's a big company, I think they definitely do some process to understand why accident happened and try to mitigate it next time. But for the SMEs, do you think that culture has also penetrated to do mitigation measures to understand the problems?
Yeah, because if you see SMEs, if you see, I would like to say frontline workers or the people closest to the hazards in the workplace, because they are the people who generally work on the shop floor, and they know better than any other about the hazard or risk. So they understand the risk in ways that management often cannot see from reports or dashboards. That is called what I say safety should be on the shop floor. And they know where procedures do not work, where equipment creates difficulties, and where shortcuts are being used. So when organization involve frontline workers, So that is what communication and participation plays very important role in building the safety culture. That is what where organizations should involve the frontline workers in safety discussions at the same time, so that they gain practical solutions rather than critical. So again, safety system should not be designed on the desktop in the office. It should be built according to the shop floor and working conditions. So we have to involve the frontline workers in every element of the safety. So leadership has to support this by encouraging open dialogue, involving workers in safety committee meetings or internal audits or risk assessment or studies and walkarounds. And the most important thing is taking feedback. That plays very, very important. So this is how a strong safety culture is built when the experience of the frontline shapes safety decisions.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Even I remember when I was working in a software company, they ask employees to give feedback, and we never used to give critical feedback because we were afraid that something
Yes.
action will be happening against us.
Yes, that is the main real problem. And that is where the psychological safety comes into the picture.
Hmm.
And the management should ensure that you are always safe and we encourage, we protect you, we safeguard you. That is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So many organizations focus on compliance, but true safety culture goes beyond that. How can companies shift from a compliance-based safety approach to a culture-driven one?
We, if you see complaints mainly based safety focuses mainly on audits, inspections, checklists, regulatory requirements, etc., etc. These are important, but they only ensure only minimum standards. So culture-based safety goes further. It's a beyond by focusing on important in safety it is ownership, and safety should not feel as a burden. What I said earlier, it should feel everyone should feel it matters for me, and that kind of ownership is very important in safety. Trust and openness, and learning from mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and proactive risk management.
Mm-hmm.
So organization can make shift by again encouraging reporting of near misses, rewarding proactive safe behavior, focusing on learning instead of punishment. So again, risk as an opportunity we need to, and involve employees in safety improvements. When
Mm-hmm.
safety becomes a shared value rather than a rule to follow. Again, safety should not be a priority. It should be a value in an organization. Then only culture begins to change.
Right. So I'm thinking about technology, how technology is playing a part in enhancing safety, but I think it's an enabler, right? It enables safety. Culture is a very different thing. It's how you live that every day, right?
Yes.
So how do you see the incoming of technology? Does it help in building a better culture?
Yes, obviously, technology is one of the main important factor nowadays in building the safety culture. But if you see other phase of the technology, so right now, see, most of the companies are bringing the technology. They're installing them, commissioning them, and the most important element is whether the technology is suitable for our operations, for the shop floor, for the people. If it is suitable, whether the people who are working or they having the hands-on experience or any capacity building programs are there or any refresher programs are there, any trainings are there. So until unless without having these kind of the basic requirements, I feel if you see there are three W's in safety. One is first W is hardware, what we're talking about technology, and second
Okay.
one is software, procedure
Okay.
systems, and third one is mindware. It's all
Okay.
about the common sense
Mm-hmm.
and how we need to change the culture with the mindset. The what I'm talking earlier, like a reactive mindset to the
Mm-hmm.
generative mindset. So again, all this comes into matter. Even though technology helps, it really helps, but at the same time, we need to consider all these elements.
Right, right. I understand. Yeah, alone technology can't play a very big
Exactly.
role.
Exactly.
Everything needs to work together, right?
100%.
Mhm. Okay, sir. So finally, if you could identify one key mindset shift needed to achieve true safety transformation, what would that be?
Mindset again, I see if you see, so earlier we used to talk about reactive to proactive. Now there is a 5 levels of safety culture maturity. If you see the first stage, it is called the pathological stage. It talks about who cares as long as we are not caught.
Hmm.
At this stage, safety is not at all a priority.
Hmm.
Safety is treated as a burden rather than a responsibility. That is a pathological stage. If
Okay.
you see the reactive stage, uh, we act after the accidents.
Hmm.
So organization at this stage start taking safety seriously only after the something happens wrong,
Hmm.
something goes wrong.
Hmm.
So safety improvements follow the accidents
Hmm.
instead of preventing them.
Right.
And if you see the third stage, it is called calculative stage. We have systems to manage safely. So here,
Hmm.
organization begin to implement formal safety management systems. So you can see here in this phase, safety is managed to the systems, but not culture driven.
Okay.
And if you see the fourth priority stage, we work on problems before accidents occur.
Hmm.
That is the culture till now.
Hmm.
At this level, organizations start identifying the risk before incidents happen, and organization begin to learn faster than accidents can occur. And
Hmm.
the fifth important, it is highly maturity stage. It is called generative stage. Well,
Okay.
safety is how we do business, and this is the
Hmm.
highest level of safety culture. It is
Okay.
like it is fully integrated into the everyday what we do, what we think, and in the decision maker, the decision
Hmm.
making, and safety becomes a part of the organization DNA. And this is
Hmm.
a generative stage. It is a mature stage. This is where every organization should come to this stage.
I see. I see. Okay, perfect. So thank you, sir, for your time today. This has been a truly insightful conversation. It is clear that transformation safety culture isn't just about enforcing rules, it's about understanding the human element that drive behavior and decision making at every level. Thank you for shedding light on the crucial role of leadership, psychological safety, and culture in ensuring long term safety success. To everyone listening, if you found this episode valuable, share it with your EHS operations and leadership team, and make sure to follow Hackler Podcast for more insightful conversation like this. And I would like to say that Amarnath sir is also very active on LinkedIn, so you can go and follow him. And if you have any question, you can ask him. Until next time, stay safe, stay alert, and lead safety with intent. Take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Amber, for having me in this podcast, and really, I loved it, and I'm so happy to share my views and thoughts on the human factor because it is one of the prime area in the incidents, industry
Right.
incidents. Thank you so much,
Right.
Amber. Have a great
Thank,
day.
thank you, sir.